Here we are. I want to show you I am ready to install the quarter panel temporarily, of course, because I have to do a lot of welding and I'm not going to bore you with that, but I just wanted to show you what I did. I cleaned everything up here. This is the window track. Let's get out of the sun there. I cleaned it all up. It's grinded. I flattened it out because it gets bent over time and rusted. You know, the other quarter panel was pretty beat up. This piece here was bent down right here. There's some rust here. I'm gonna fix that later. I'm not gonna do that now. This flange is ready to snap off. It's part of this panel here. I'm gonna weld that. And I noticed that this was damaged, so I had some hard time fitting the quarter panel. I'll show you what I had to do in order to get it up so everything lines up. This was actually a little lower than I would like when I installed the quarter, so I had to push everything back and lift everything up. And I did that by bracing the floor, and I had to move this trunk hinge panel up and re-secure it to the inner wheelhouse. That's how I did that. I cleaned everything up here. Let me show you. Everything came out nice. Cleaned up this side here. This is all cleaned. This right here, I am going to repair this, but again, like I said, I'm going to be removing and installing this quarter panel a couple times, so I just want to show you what I am doing. But this, I'm going to actually fabricate some metal in here because there should be a welding flange that comes across. You can see it's right here. It goes around like this, the same shape, but this is all rotted away. There's a problem with the GTOs. They all rot under that rear quarter. I'll show you on this side. There you are. This side here I did not remove yet, but you could see the rot that's in here. For some reason, it must hold moisture from the trunk, and it just rots out. Either that or they just never sealed it properly from the factory. But you could see up here it's starting to, well, it was all rotted out, but this I didn't replace yet, but I will. All right, here we are. We are getting ready to install the quarter panel, and I'll show you how I do it. I've done this a couple times just to make sure it fits prior to me doing this, so this isn't. Make sure it gets tucked in up here, okay? And make sure that this metal here, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but you got to make sure that that metal there is not binding up. Right there. I'll show you a close-up once I put it in. There we go. Make sure it's tucked in under here on the inner wheelhouse, the outer wheelhouse, sorry. And that's it. So let me bring you over here and I'll show you what I did. We will start in the back here and I'll show you. Right here I had to tuck the metal underneath. Right here. So I mean this was tricky. At first I didn't realize this was holding it up. I'm going to turn the camera off in a minute and I'm going to show you what I did to secure it, but right now it's actually loose. I put a screw in here and I made some notes prior to me doing it. I had to sand it because it was a little tight on this weather channel that goes here, and I'll show you that, and I'll show you this right here. I actually clamp it together and then I screw it fast Right here, it's going to be tight. I'll show you that. Window sits in there like this. Right here, I had to put a little relief cut to get it in there. These are my little marks prior to me showing the video. And then I got to push this up a little bit more. I made a mark there to show me where it actually has to go. This is a little shorter than factory. Right here, I have a little imperfection, and I'll show you that as I get closer. And then over here, it fits fairly nicely along the bottom here. I got to push this in. It's still loose, like I said. It fits pretty good right here. All along the outer wheelhouse fits pretty well. Right here, I have a problem where I'm gonna actually have to work the metal. See if I can get out of the light. Right in here, these two pieces of metal, the outer wheelhouse and the quarter panel. This is aftermarket. Obviously, it's all aftermarket, but the problem is this didn't come out far enough over here. So what I have to do is I have to bang it out. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I just wanted to show you. I really like the way this quarter panel fits. Set it back up on my tripod, and I'll show you what I do to make sure it's nice and tight. Be right back. And make sure that's nice and flush. I have to hammer that out a little bit because it dented up, but that's there. And then this over here, what I end up doing is I use a pair of pliers and I clamp the two panels together over here and make sure that lines up. All right, clamp that. So what I did right here, I made sure that's nice and flush. Give you a nice shot of it. I'm not going to replace this panel. Originally, I didn't think it was that bad. So I could, in other words, I could work with what was there. But then I realized the right here was actually rotted. But I think I'm going to work with that. I'm going to bend some metal and shape it, cut it out, and replace it. And I have a little trick on how to replace these pins that hold the weather stripping down for the chrome for the window. And I am going to actually make that another video. But give me a minute and I'll show you right here what I do. So there's one more thing I wanted to remind everyone. Before you do a project like this, you need to mock everything up. I have my rear windshield, and I fit that in, made sure that everything fit my rear windshield, and also my trunk lid. I put my trunk lid in, made sure it fit. I have a problem right here. It actually is in too much. So I need to whack it out just a breath. But other than that, it's fine. There's my my trunk pan lid, my trunk lid, sorry, and my glass, the rear glass is right there. So I mock everything up, made sure it fit, and then I started my fitting my quarter panel. I have these little zip screws. And I just make them tight, just like that. I mean, you don't want to make them too tight because they'll strip out. But everything is nice and flush right there. Sits actually pretty nice. This weather stripping goes in there like this. Not the weather stripping, the channel for the weather stripping. So that fits in there really nice there. But that's, again, everything's temporary. Nothing's welded yet. So I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to whack this down a little bit with a hammer. Bring that down. This looks really good. This is where the channel, the windshield, the rear window actually fits in. And it's actually really nice there. I could work with that. Before it was a lot lower. It's probably about a 1/4 inch too low, and I had to bring everything up. So then In return, this sits in there fairly nicely right along there. I got to lift it up a little bit. There's two marks, one's where it's lifted and one's where it's not. Right here, the quarter panel fits in nice, like so. And the reason why that's down right there is because the quarter is actually dipping down. So I need to bring the quarter panel up. See, that's why it's low. I need to lift the whole quarter. And let me show you right there. I got to lift that whole quarter up, and that way it'll bring that whole panel up about 1/8 of an inch. So I can't do it now because it just keeps dropping, but that's what needs to be done. So just thought I'd show you that. Came out really, really nice. I have to tack everything in place, throw some more zip screws. Everything lines up really nice. So just wanted to show you. That. You know, striker for the door. Everything fits well. So please like and subscribe.